In today's video, I want to do a bit of a call out. I'm not particularly excited to do this. It's going to kind of have a bit of a negative slant, to just be honest with you. But I also feel like I've got to come on camera and say this because it seems like nobody else wants to. We have a gigantic problem in the beauty community with crappy reviews. I think there's a lot of very complicated reasons behind why this is happening, but I do think that it's a bit of a cyclical problem that has to do with people getting free products. And I'm honestly really frustrated with this because when you are given the opportunity to accept a free product, you are expected to use the product and write a helpful review, but we have this problem of people getting overly excited about getting the free products and wanting more. I guess you could say greed is kind of factoring into this. And in the act of greed, people don't write good reviews. They do them as quickly as possible in hopes of getting more. So the reason this video is kind of uncomfortable for me is because in some aspects I feel like I'm calling out companies, but in other aspects I feel like I'm calling out regular consumers like you and like me. But this is such a big problem that I feel like I have to sit here and do it. So I want to start this video off by reading you guys some examples of what I think are very unhelpful reviews that are written with this type of motivation behind it. Now, I read a whole bunch of terms of service in order to make this video. That's why this video is late. I've been reading because, you know, I really ultimately do want to stay in my lane, but I also feel like I need to make this video. So we're going to just read them today. I'm not going to put them up after what I've seen. So here are some reviews on a product that a certain company who will remain unnamed has encouraged people to try out in-store and then write a review. Now, the glaring problem with this is that the product that I am discussing is a facial serum. All of you guys watching this, I'm sure you've seen my skincare videos. I trial products for 2 weeks because from everything I've read and from my own personal results, 2 weeks is basically a bare minimum of twice-a-day usage in order to see what a product actually does for your skin. So on one hand, I was a bit frustrated that a company would actually ask people to go on the websites and write these reviews after using an in-store tester. That's not going to make for a good review, and it doesn't, and here are some bad examples. Here we have one rated 5 stars entitled Amazing. This serum is the best yet, and it smells amazing. I need this serum in my life. It's a lot better than all the ones I've used before. This is for a contest. That is true. In order to win this contest, you have to write these reviews. So that is honest. I will give them that. However, what does this review actually tell us? It tells us that the serum smells amazing and I need this serum in my life, which to me implies that they don't own this serum. They merely tried it in store. But that part is not clearly written into this review. You could be an uninformed consumer, not knowing what's going on behind the scenes, come to this review and think, okay, I read this part in this review that says it's a lot better than all the ones I've used before. How many serums has this person used? They didn't tell you. Here's a 5-star review that says, got my glow on. I just tested this new serum, boosted with vitamin C, and it gave my skin a nice glowing, radiant complexion. I definitely want to buy it, but the price is kind of steep for me compared to similar products. This person wrote a review on a product that they didn't buy. At least they made it clear, but I also wish that they hadn't spent so much time telling us what it did for their skin when, again, they don't know because they clearly, as they stated, did not buy it. 5-star review here titled The Best Serum. OMG, I'm so glad to say that this is the best serum ever. I've tried this product at Ulta and love it. My skin feels so amazing, hydrated, and soft. Now I'm part of a contest and I hope to get this. Here's yet another person who has at least told us that they're part of a contest and they hope to get it, meaning that they do not own it. But they also spent a lot of time telling us about this serum in ways that are not at all helpful. This is the best serum ever. I've tried this at Ulta. I love it and my skin feels so amazing. I really want to know how many of these people actually went in the store immediately after cleansing and toning, because that's where you put a serum in your skincare routine. You do not put it on top of a bunch of makeup. But ultimately, my guess is that people really just put it on the back of their hand because they don't want to disturb their makeup. Now here's another one where I absolutely get nothing from this review. 5 stars, great product. I've been pretty pleased with the results of this product. My skin looks brighter and feels smoother. Great product. On this one, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea if this person tested it once in store or is telling us about their purchase. How on earth are we supposed to know? There's not enough context in this review. Now, I want to be clear that this video is not just about bad 5-star reviews, so I feel like it is fair for me to read you some 1-star unhelpful reviews. Here is one that I got off of the Sephora website, and it says, "Never got this, can't review, 1 star." Are you really reviewing USPS on the Sephora website? Because that is not helpful. It's not at all helpful. And here's a 5-star review from somebody who just received a new eyeshadow palette. "I have just received my palette and I love the shade range. I cannot wait to try this out." I'm sorry, but I will forever be perplexed by the thought that anybody on this planet could receive a new eyeshadow palette in the mail and rather than use it, find within themselves the urge to go on the Sephora website and write this kind of a review. How are you not wanting to use it? How? We have now established that there's a lot of bad reviews, so let's question why these are there. Now, I already touched on the idea that some people have incentive to keep getting free products or other winning a contest type of situations, but there's more to it. I definitely want to point out that a lot of reviews end up being published out of emotion. That's why I read you guys those last two. You have both anger-fueled reviews and excitement-fueled reviews, both of which tend to be really unhelpful. Now, you've seen anger-fueled reviews if you've ever been on the Yelp app, people who want to complain about their waiter or what have you. It's the same thing with the beauty community. We have so many people who write reviews because their product came broken, maybe it was stolen off of their doorstep, and they feel like they should come on that product's page and leave a 1-star review. Not helpful, guys. And I've always been ultimately perplexed by the 5-star reviews that appear on day one. When a product is released, you see people so excited to get it, and I guess all they can find to do with their time between placing the order and receiving the product is to sit there and talk about how excited they are. They saw this on the Trend Mood Instagram, and now they can't wait to get it. 5 stars. Now that we've established as fact that there are many very unhelpful reviews out there, what can we do about it? I'm going to give you guys my little guidelines for finding a good review. And first off, I want to say, never look at the overall rating. When you look at the overall rating, you are getting the combined rating, not just of all of those really unhelpful reviews, but it's also very often taking out the kind of low reviews. And I know some of you guys have noticed this. I've noticed this. I've noticed that when I write a 1-star review, it often is not published, whereas I can't say the same about a 5-star review. Now, apparently this is supposedly because of filters, but I'm not personally convinced. I think that it is a bit of a problem. It may be true that the filters just have an accidental tendency to lose those 1-star reviews, but something fishy is going on. I find that as a whole, products tend to be rated higher in a lot of instances than they maybe should be. And of course, you also have those other bad 1-star reviews factoring in. So the rating just ultimately, it means nothing. What you do want to look for is the depth of a review. How much does that person who is writing that review tell you about their experience with a product? Of course, it can be helpful to know how they felt when they first applied the product, but that is not enough to make a review. We need to know, how did it wear on you? Did you try wearing it for a 12-hour day? Did you try wearing it to a more extreme type of environment, maybe to the gym? How did it mix with other products? How did it mix with your particular skin type? I find it really helpful as well when people very clearly state their usage of a product, telling you that they didn't just use the product once and they're essentially writing a first impression, but telling you that this is my 3rd week using it, for example. That really helps us as consumers to know that that's a product that they're continuously using. I do really want to point out that even though in a lot of ways it sounds like I'm coming for the received a free product type of reviews. I want to be clear that I don't think you should necessarily throw the baby out with the bathwater. I do think that there can be value in those reviews. And in fact, if you see that little sentence, I received this product complimentary for review purposes, don't just dismiss it, because at the very least, in the act of reading that, you know that that person actually did what they're supposed to. That's actually an indication of honesty. This is not a foolproof method, and there certainly are many times where you see that sentence appear on a wow, love it, 5-star type of review, but you also really do see that on multiple paragraph reviews of people giving you full context of the product. And again, the product's context is what we're looking for. I sometimes think we tend to overlook the fact that a lot of people who are receiving these free products are doing it because they actually enjoy the act of writing reviews and sharing their experiences. I would argue that there's a good percentage of people who do flock to those websites that provide free products because they enjoy the whole experience all the way around. One of my personal tips for kind of expediting the process of finding good reviews, if you're short on time, it may be advantageous for you to sort by rating and skip ahead to the 4-star section. Now this is really just correlation data more than anything else, but I've noticed that in general, if somebody took the time to think, I need to deduct a rating from this product because it's not perfect, then they're probably also, or possibly also, willing to share more of their experience with the product and kind of tell you why they deducted that star. Again, this isn't foolproof either, but as a whole, I've noticed that that section, the 4-star section and the 3 and 2-star sections, seem to have more content than the 5-star love it reviews and the didn't get it 1-star type of reviews. I want to end this video with a bit of a positive, come together type of message. I don't want this video to sound like I'm just sitting here saying, I never write bad reviews, because that wouldn't be true. I've had a learning experience myself, including having my eyes open to the behind the scenes that I hopefully touched on in this video today. We need to all think about what happens with our reviews and all try to imagine potential customers sitting there trying to decide if they want to spend their hard-earned money by reading the words that we have written. And I've touched before on the fact that we don't all have the same income and how difficult that can make reviews, but I do think that, there's a balance in this. I think it is possible for us, those of us who are writing reviews, to kind of digest, maybe we spent $60 on a palette, but do we think that somebody who only makes $7.25 an hour should spend that same amount of money? Or would we honestly sit there face to face with somebody and say, Wet n Wild makes some good eyeshadow palettes? It's just all things to keep in mind, and I really think, experiences will vary, and that's the point of reviews, but ultimately, all of us, me, you, all of us, should try to imagine what type of information from our experiences would help others. Alright guys, as always, I hope you found this video to be helpful, and if you did, please make sure to give it a like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, YouTube.